Imagine you're driving down a familiar highway at night, like a route, like the back of your hand.
Right, just totally on autopilot.
Exactly. But suddenly, the asphalt beneath your tires it simply stops.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it doesn't fade into dirt or gravel. It dissolves entirely into raw, glowing, three-dimensional geometry.
That's a terrifying image.
It is. And that reality-shattering moment, that sudden collapse of the fundamental rules of existence, is exactly what we're unpacking today.
Absolutely.
Welcome to the Deep Dive. Our mission today is to explore a truly mind-bending sequence from the epic Drednoght.
It's such a brilliant sequence.
It really is. We're looking specifically at the exact moment a violent shift in the fabric of reality exposes, this massive philosophical divide between a conqueror's ego and a scholar's cosmic awe.
Which is, frankly, the core conflict of the whole narrative.
So to set this new for you, we are marching with this massive, magically infused Egyptian army into a region called Senhel.
And we should clarify, Senhel isn't just a place where the sun went down.
Right, no, it's way worse than that.
It is a landscape of absolute, suffocating, completely impenetrable blackness.
And leading this incredibly formidable force are two vastly contrasting figures.
Yeah, at the helm you have Atina Khan. He is a pharaoh whose ambitions are quite literally godlike. I mean, he rules his empire through sheer, unyielding force of will.
He's terrifying.
Totally. And beside him is his right-hand man, Tenhut. Tenhut serves as the Lord Commander of the Black Guard.
And he's a very different kind of guy.
Very different. He is a towering, heavily modified, cyborg-like figure who operates on this level of profound mysticism.
Yeah.
He's a warrior, certainly, but his mind functions with a cold, almost mechanical curiosity about the arcane laws of the universe.
Right, so we are jumping into the narrative right at the moment. This unstoppable, magic-wielding army encounters an anomaly known as Dark City.
The stakes literally could not be higher.
We have an arrogant god king, a cyborg mystic, and an environment that is about to break every law of physics they thought they knew.
Okay, let's unpack this. So the sequence opens with a jarring, absolute halt.
Yeah.
Picture tens of thousands of magically infused soldiers, beasts of war, this massive engine of conquest, just stopping dead in their tracks in the middle of a pitch-black void.
And Tenhut immediately approaches Atenatkin to deliver a report.
Right, and the pharaoh, true to his nature, is just casually lounging on his mobile throne.
Like it's nothing.
Exactly, seemingly completely unfazed by the oppressive darkness of Senhel.
But the report Tenhut delivers makes absolutely no logical or tactical sense.
None at all.
He doesn't say they've found an enemy encampment or like a natural barrier.
No, he tells the pharaoh that a complex network of structures, an entire city, has just instantaneously materialized directly in their path, due northeast.
It didn't grow from the earth. There was no dust from construction. It just, boom, manifested.
And the visual description of this manifestation in the source text is just staggering because it introduces a concept utterly alien to their world.
Yeah, the atmosphere itself begins to ripple.
Like water reacting to a sonic boom.
Exactly. Then a vast grid unveils across the heavens above them. We are talking about geometric bars, hundreds of miles apart, perfectly encompassing the entire sky.
And the text describes these grid lines as emitting this static, salted, gray-white light.
Which is such a specific, eerie detail.
Right, that light physically curves around the globe, electrifying the absolute blackness of Senhel.
It isn't just a star or a moon casting illumination down.
No, it is a structural overlay on the sky itself. It feels inherently artificial.
Right. It feels exactly like a massive glitch in a video game.
Oh, that's a perfect way to put it.
You know when you manage to walk your character to the very edge of the map, like past the invisible walls where you were supposed to be playing?
Yeah, and suddenly the rendered landscape, the trees, the mountains, it just vanishes.
Exactly, and you were just standing there watching the raw developer code and wireframes instantly render a new level right in front of your eyes. That is what is happening to this Egyptian army.
The video game glitch concept perfectly illustrates the mechanics of what they are experiencing. They haven't just marched into a new dark territory.
No.
They have crossed a threshold into a space where the fundamental laws of reality, the universe's actual source code, are actively overriding the physical domain.
It's wild.
The baseline of their existence is shifting from a magical, natural reality to something distinctly structured and digital.
Which brings us to a wildly entertaining psychological question.
Oh, I know where you're going with this.
How does a guy who thinks he is a literal god react to seeing the universe's developer tools.
Spoiler alert, not well.
Drednoght looks up at this reality-breaking sky grid, and his very first thought is to claim it.
Of course it is.
He calls it a deeper display of Aten's light.
Right. And for context, Aten's light represents the divine mandate and magical power of his people.
So he immediately forces this mind-bending cosmic anomaly into his own narrow, militaristic worldview.
He goes further than just claiming it, though. He deduces a specific adversarial cause.
Oh.
Drednoght assumes that a celestial being, a rival god, he addresses as Vivek, the god of the arcade darkness, must have infiltrated their realm.
And he pulls from history to justify this.
Exactly. In the lore of this universe, there was a historical dimensional breach referred to as Jube's mistake.
Right.
So Drednoght believes Vivek slipped in through that old cosmic tear and is now using this instantly materialized wireframe city to harvest magical power and expand a rival domain.
The sheer arrogance of his reaction is just incredible. The sky is literally turning into a glowing geometric cage, rewriting the laws of physics, and Drednoght reaches into a cloth-lined basket at the foot of his throne.
He really does.
He pulls out a piece of fruit, casually takes a bite, and declares, "The only god to seize this realm will be me."
It's hilarious and terrifying.
The universe is experiencing a system crash, and this guy is having a snack and planning an assassination. But I actually have to push back on Drednought's tactical assessment here.
Okay, let's hear it.
Isn't he just projecting his own massive ego onto the situation? Like he is a hammer? So he assumes this cosmic, reality-bending city is just another nail trying to steal his turf.
You've hit on the exact ontology of Drednought's power. What's fascinating here is that his entire rule, his ability to shape the physical world, is based purely on his own force of will.
Right, he doesn't negotiate with reality.
He literally bends reality to align with his desires. Because will is his only tool, and conquest is his only language, his paradigm has absolutely no room for a phenomenon that isn't a rival conqueror.
Wow.
If something new appears, it must be something attempting to outwill him.
So, faced with the profound, universe-altering mystery, he basically reduces it to a border dispute.
Precisely.
Yeah.
He is blinded by his own ambition. The awe of the moment bounces right off him because he cannot conceive of a force that operates outside the framework of petty dominion.
He really thinks he can just march his army into the developer code and stab the programmer.
He does. But Drednoght, on the other hand, processes this entirely differently.
Oh yeah, completely opposite reaction.
While the pharaoh is chewing fruit and monologuing about his own godhood, Drednoght is experiencing a terrifying physical phenomenon.
The text describes Drednoght feeling an inverted wind.
Yes, that phrase, inverted wind, is crucial to understanding the mechanics of Dark City's manifestation. A normal wind pushes against you. It displaces air.
But this wind gently reaches out and claws through the air, pulling toward an empty, nameless void.
It's so unsettling.
It is a physical sensation of the atmosphere, maybe even reality itself, being sucked into a higher dimension. It's the universe pulling away from itself.
And this physical sensation provides Drednoght with a vital piece of data. He realizes the magical etheric energy that powers their army and their world is reacting to the deeper workings of Senhel.
Right.
He explains to the pharaoh that they are entering a state where two realities are overlapping.
The physical world they know and the digital structured reality of Dark City are actively becoming one.
And once Drednoght articulates this, he just goes quiet.
The contrast in the scene is brilliant. Drednoght is rattling his saber, but Tenhu is just staring up at the grid, completely enthralled by the terrifying scale of it.
He realizes there is a grander architect behind this reality.
He even suggests sending the Senhel forward.
Right, the army's reanimated undead soldiers.
Yeah, basically meat shields they use to probe dangerous magic. But you can tell the suggestion is almost distracted.
Totally.
Mentally, Tenhu has already abandoned the conquest of Senhel. He is consumed by pure, insatiable curiosity.
He is a scholar of the arcane, deeply entrenched in blackguard sciences. For a mind like Drednought's, recognizing that a grander architect exists, that the rules of magic and physics are just a layer covering a deeper code, isn't a threat.
It's an invitation to learn a new language.
Exactly.
I try to put myself in his shoes, and honestly, it sounds horrifying.
Well, I'd be terrified.
You are this towering, feared cyborg warlord. You command legions, and in a split second, you realize you are just a tiny bug crawling around inside a much larger machine that you don't understand at all. Usually, Physical reality comes with this expectation of stability, right? Like you drop an apple, it falls.
Right, exactly.
You stand in a desert, you are definitively in a desert. But stepping into the world of Senhel, well, that reality machine just completely breaks down.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, we are looking at a landscape that is actively dual-booting two different existences at the exact same time.
We're unpacking this really mind-bending scene where cosmic science fiction just sort of collides with ancient sorcery.
Yeah, that surreal encounter between Commander Tenhut and the alien cyborg Okadega.
Right, at the Drednoght observation post. We really want to explore how the mysterious Dark City anomaly literally shatters the rules of reality, location, and perception.
So to set the stage, Tenhut approaches this intensely intimidating spike-laden Drednoght platform, right? And it's all bathed in this eerie, static light from the atmospheric grid above.
Such a great visual.
It really is. And Okadega is already running a data analysis. His sensors are picking up that Dark City contains quantum code from an unknown universal thread.
And it's just instantaneously become a permanent physical fixture in their world.
Exactly. It shouldn't be possible.
It's like, imagine suddenly finding a fully functioning, futuristic skyscraper seamlessly woven into a medieval tapestry.
Oh, that's a perfect analogy.
Right. Like, it shouldn't exist here, but it is physically taking up space.
And that matters because it isn't just a mirage. It is this incredibly dense folding of molecular forces and, magic that is actively overriding their physical reality.
And because it's overriding the environment, the very ground they stand on begins to fracture across dimensions.
Yeah, this is where the massive twist happens.
Yeah.
The Egyptian army, they fully believe they are marching through the Senhel desert sands.
But Okadega's cybernetic sensors reveal something completely different.
Right. His sensors show that the terrain is actually the planet's moon. Okadega looks up and sees the planet Earth occupying like a third of the sky.
Which leads to that genuinely chilling line of dialogue.
Oh, when he asks, "You do not see your planet."
Yes, it just gives me goosebumps. And then Tenhut's reaction.
He looks up, the magical grid light ripples, and he finally glimpses this gargantuan moon.
But it gets crazier because in this surreal overlap of dimensions, Tenhut sees a silhouette of himself conversing with the exact same aliens on the lunar surface.
It's totally wild.
Wait, I need to push back on the mechanics here, though.
Okay, go for it.
If Tenhut is seeing himself on the moon while standing in the desert, has his physical body literally split into two manifestations? Or is Senhel forcing him to look into some kind of quantum mirror?
Well, it's actually neither. The magic is so dense here that it's forcing multiple timelines to exist simultaneously.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Okadega's cybernetics process the raw, unfiltered universal code which puts him on the moon. But Tenhut's biological mind anchors him to the familiar desert.
So they're both experiencing a true reality.
Exactly. Confronted with this terrifying, multidimensional duality, both leaders react in ways that totally expose their ultimate motivations.
Right, like Tenhut immediately vows to conquer Dark City. He wants to harness its reality-bending secrets.
Because he sees reality as something he can force into submission. But Okadega, he just runs this silent, cybernetic calculation.
He recognizes that this overlapping reality isn't a glitch.
No, not at all. He sees is the intentional design of a higher progenitor.
So in Senhel, perception and reality are not just linked, they are the exact same thing.
Literally one and the same.
Which leaves you with a final puzzle to mull over. If Senhel forces multiple timelines to exist simultaneously, which version of Tenhut actually walked away from that conversation?
Was it the one in the desert?
Or the one on the moon?
Let's see, for an ego like a Tenhutkins, that realization is a threat to be destroyed. But for Tenhut, acknowledging his own smallness is intoxicating.
He genuinely believes in the pursuit of a greater mystery.
Right. While the Pharaoh wants to assert his own will over the anomaly, Tenhut wants to read its source code.
And this intellectual pivot leads directly into one of the most chilling, atmospheric sequences in the entire narrative.
Oh, without a doubt.
We really need to slow down. The tension is palpable. Tenhut leaves the Pharaoh's side and walks out alone onto the flat, cracked earth near the edge of where Dark City has manifested.
Just walking out into the unknown.
Yeah, he is going out to meet with a figure named Okadega, also known by the numerical designation 810.
And Okadega is an incredibly jarring presence in this setting.
Very.
He is a giant, cyborg-like Drednoght ambassador. In this universe's lore, Drednaughts are essentially extra-universal entities. mechanical beings that operate on an entirely different plane of logic and existence.
They don't belong in a world of Egyptian magic.
Not at all.
Let's walk through this exchange paragraph by paragraph, because the pacing is just masterful.
Let's do it.
So Tenhut approaches Okadega on these desolate, cracked flatlands. Above them, the sky grid flashes its static, salted light again,
throwing everything into stark, unnatural relief for a split second. The mechanical implication of that rippling face is staggering. It suggests that the reality they were standing in is not just a different physical location, and it's not just a digital construct. It is an environment being actively observed, monitored, and perhaps manipulated by something unfathomably vast.
The universe isn't just a machine.
Right, it has an operator looking down at them.
So how does a Lord Commander react to seeing a face in the void?
He doesn't panic.
He doesn't scream. He levels his focus. Standing there on the cracked flatlands beneath a flashing grid and a missing moon, he makes a vow.
A profound shift in his entire worldview.
He declares that he will come to understand this Mishik. He realizes that Dark City holds the key to this new reality, and he vows he will not rest until he learns to harness its secrets.
If we connect this to the bigger picture, this exact moment on the flatlands cements the philosophical divergence between the two leaders.
It really does.
It is the defining split of the narrative. The pharaoh, faced with an overwhelming, reality-breaking unknown, wants to swing his hammer and smash the darkness to prove his own supremacy.
Yeah.
Tenhut, faced with the rippling face in the void of a missing moon, wants to learn the programming language.
When we step back from the glowing grids, the cyborg ambassadors, and the magically infused armies, the core of this narrative is a deeply human conflict.
It absolutely is.
We are asking you, the listener, to think about your own life. When you are faced with something completely outside your understanding, a sudden massive change in your industry, a paradigm-shifting piece of information, or an event that shatters your sense of daily normalcy, how do you react?
It serves as the ultimate test of our personal worldviews. Do we default to a Tinkin strategy?
Do we immediately assume the unknown is a threat to our ego, grab our metaphorical hammer, and try to force this new reality to submit to our existing will?
Do we insist on being the loudest voice in the room just to drown out the terrifying quiet of uncertainty?
Or do we have the capacity to react like Tenhut? Can we endure the inverted wind?
Can we go quiet, observe our own missing moons, acknowledge how tiny we are in the grand scheme of things, and dedicate ourselves to understanding the new rules, no matter how unsettling or alien they might be?
It requires a profound, often uncomfortable silence to actually learn something new.
Definitely.
The desire to conquer is loud and immediate, but the desire to understand requires admitting that the tools you used yesterday might be completely useless today.
That's a powerful takeaway.
Before we go, I want to leave you with a thought experiment that builds on Tenhut's terrifying discovery in the sky.
Let's hear it.
Think about the missing moon in our own actual world. Cosmologists tell us that roughly 85% of the matter in our universe is dark matter.
Right, this huge invisible mass.
It is something we cannot see, we cannot touch, and we cannot interact with, yet its gravitational pull is literally the only thing holding our galaxies together.
The physical reality we experience every day is just a tiny fraction of what is actually out there, governing the rules of the cosmos.
Exactly. What if our own dark matter is just the wireframe of our reality?
Oh, wow.
The unseen developer code holding the map together. Are we all just walking around under a grid we can't quite see, completely unaware of the architecture?
That's a heavy thought.
And if we ever figure out how to zoom our own vision into the blackness, what kind of face is going to ripple back at us?
I'm not sure I want to know the answer to that.
Thank you for joining us on this exploration of the unknown. Keep questioning the framework of your own reality, keep looking into the void for those missing moons, and we will see you on the next deep dive.